Now, Emily Keegan, Newstalk reporter, is outside Newry Crown Court, where today the trial of Jeffrey Donaldson and the trial of facts of his wife Eleanor will begin. Emily, maybe we might begin there with the dividing line between trial and trial of facts. What's a trial of facts?
Yeah, so this is actually the first time a lot of people who would work in the courts have actually heard of this. It's something that it doesn't happen in the Republic, but it does happen up here in the North. And even at that, it's still very rare that it does come up. So essentially, the judge ruled that Eleanor is unfit to stand a criminal trial, and that's because of her mental health issues, which were actually delaying both trials to begin in the first place. They've been delayed twice now because of her poor mental health. So instead, the jury will be asked to determine if she committed the offences, but she can't be found guilty or go to jail. So essentially, the jury has to decide if the prosecution's case is convincing, while also recognising the fact that she is deemed medically unfit to actually take part in proceedings. She'll just be represented by a lawyer, but the defendant can still be acquitted of the charges. However, both of the trials, the trial of both Jeffrey and Eleanor, are still going to run at the same time, but the potential outcomes are very different.
And of course, none of that legal subtlety applies in the case of Jeffrey Donaldson. He's facing 18 charges.
Yeah, so 18 charges, including, of course, rape, which is the biggest one there, and then gross indecency with or towards a child and indecent assault on a female on dates between 1987 and 2008. Now, his wife Eleanor is charged with 5 counts of aiding and abetting him in relation to those charges. Both of them deny all of the charges. The offences are alleged to have been committed against two alleged victims, and the trial is expected to last up to 4 weeks once it gets started today. So it's going to be a pretty lengthy and detailed one.
To what extent will all of the evidence be in the public domain? Because often cases involving these kind of allegations, to protect the victims, often elements of them are held in camera.
Yeah, and it's very different this time around because people who pay attention to these kind of trials down south will be aware of the fact that it's unusual to hear anyone being named. And of course, in this case, we do have both Jeffrey and Eleanor being named. The rules are a bit different up here. However, the victims will still remain nameless. There'll be no identifying reports that might be able to kind of trace back to them and who they are. However, it will still be, a lot of it will be in the public domain. I mean, anything that's said in front of the jury will still be out there with, of course, strict limits around what we can say, but the public will be very aware of what's going on at all times.
And has Jeffrey Donaldson said anything in the run up?
No, he actually hasn't appeared in the last few hearings. Him or Eleanor, they weren't required to be present at any of the last few hearings. So today will probably be the first time that he's been seen in a while when they arrive for the jury selection and the jury to be sworn in at Newry Crown Court. Of course, he has denied the charges, and he did resign as DUP leader and then was suspended from the party after the allegations emerged. But in recent months, it's been fairly quiet.
You said the trial is expected to take up to 4 weeks, and then obviously there'll be usually a delay before sentencing. When sentencing, if he is found guilty, and obviously it is very much an if at this point, what's the maximum sentence he could face?
So the maximum sentence for rape, which is, of course, the heftiest charge that he's facing here, is actually life imprisonment, which I believe in the north is about, I think it might be a small bit less than it is down south, but I will have to double check that and come back to you. But regardless, it's a life sentence, so it's a pretty tough one for him.
Emily, thank you very much. Emily Keegan, News Talk reporter there at Newry Crown Court, where the trial of Sir Jeffrey Donaldson, as you heard, the trial of facts of his wife Eleanor, begins today. Well, former DUP leader Jeffrey Donaldson is at Newry Crown Court after being charged with 18 historical sexual offences. James McCarthy is with us, political reporter with Belfast Live and the Daily Mirror Northern Ireland. And we were speaking about this a little bit earlier on, James, but in case anybody didn't hear that just after 7 o'clock, the obvious subtlety in this case is that it involves both Jeffrey Donaldson and his wife Eleanor. And Eleanor is facing a trial of facts. Just remind us what that is.
Yeah, so a trial of facts is where she has been deemed unfit to stand trial. So instead, the facts will be presented to the jury and they will have to determine whether they believe that she committed the offences. Now, she can't be found guilty for the offences, but the judge will then, if the jury find that she has committed the offences, the judge will have options opened as to a form of punishment for her.
Now, remind us of the significance of Jeffrey Donaldson as a figure in unionist politics in Northern Ireland, and why, when these charges were originally brought, it was so shocking.
Jeffrey Donaldson has been a mainstay of political unionism for many, many years. He was the MP for Lagan Valley since 1997 until 2024, and he was the leader of the Democratic Unionist Party for 3 years prior to his arrest. Now, he, going back to the time of the Good Friday Agreement when he was a member of the Ulster Unionist Party, he was part of that negotiating team, and then he subsequently quit the Ulster Unionist Party and joined the DUP in response to there not being any links between Sinn Féin's admittance to government and IRA decommissioning at the time of the Good Friday Agreement. So he has been around for many, many decades. I think that when he was arrested, it sent shockwaves not only through unionism, but through the whole political sphere here in Northern Ireland.
Now, he is protesting his innocence in court. He hasn't taken much opportunity to do that publicly since the charges were laid down.
Yeah, that's correct. He is facing 18 historical sexual offences, including one count of rape, alongside allegations of indecent assault and gross indecency. And these charges involved two alleged victims and spanned 23-year period between 1985 and 2008. And you are correct that he is pleading not guilty to those offences, but he hasn't spoken publicly, and he's been rarely seen publicly, actually, since his arrest.
What is the expectation for how the trial is going to run and how long it is likely to last?
So the trial is likely to last around 5 weeks. We will begin today with jury selection, and then evidence will begin tomorrow. Jeffrey Donaldson himself will appear on the stand at some point throughout the period, and how this plays out. It will be significant. It will be leading the headlines now for the next few weeks.
And of course, as you say, he's facing 18 offences, charges relating to 18 offences, and one of those a count of rape, which in and of itself, as I understand it, can carry a life sentence in the jurisdiction. So from his perspective, the stakes are extraordinarily high.
They are, and it'll be a trial like no other. I can't remember any trial of this significance, particularly not only in Northern Ireland, but across these islands, across the Republic or the United Kingdom, where we have someone of such a high standing and such significance facing such serious charges.
And the trial in respect of the trial of facts for Eleanor Donaldson, if there is, as there will be, most likely, if there's a verdict brought in either way, does that have a direct impact on whether or not at any point she could be subsequently criminally prosecuted?
That's something that I'm actually not too sure of. My understanding is obviously this is relation to her health, and legal proceedings against her have already been delayed twice due to her health. My understanding is that the judge might order, like, for instance, a hospital stay or something like that, in relation to